Vishy, welcome to Cyprus at the Candidates. What a beautiful tournament and what a beautiful place.
The venue is spectacular. First of all, this area is very beautiful. I guess you've gone for the walks also,
Yes.
right? And this area is unbelievably beautiful. And on top of that water venue, you I don't know how much you'll be able to capture, but the venue is spectacular. Very comfortable. It's like we have a huge resort, more or less to ourselves, just for the chess tournament. Yeah, it's going to be a great event.
And Vishy, what all would you be doing here? Like, where can people see you? I think you will be part of the official broadcast as well as an expert. You'll also be here in the fan zone so people can meet you.
Yes, those will be two of the things. Also, there are some FIDE meetings here, so I think especially first and second, I'll be attending those. And yeah, a lot of FIDE duties. I think as those clear up, I will do more engagement on commentary, but I don't think I'll do commentary the whole time. What I will do, and I think the last couple of times I was here, I did some events with the local chess community, maybe something along those lines. To be honest, everything hasn't been mapped out, but we'll figure it out.
And how was the journey for you coming here? Was it smooth? How was it?
Incredibly smooth. I reached Bombay, then I connected the flight to Zurich, the Swiss flight. That was also, in fact, it arrived early. I thought the connection's a little bit tight, 1 hour, and if the plane, I think a couple of days the plane went late. So then I thought to get past immigration and all would be tricky. In fact, they didn't do immigration in Zurich. Everything happened here. But you're never sure these things. But my plane went and landed like some 15 minutes early. And the connection was incredibly smooth. The only thing was there was a slight delay taking off. But aside from the fact it was sort of long, at some point I looked at the map, the airline flight path that they put on the plane, and I could see that we are flying over Turkey. And I know that from Turkey, if you look a little bit down, there's Cyprus. So I knew that we're going 4 hours in the wrong direction to Zurich to come back. But aside from that, everything was great. In fact, today I was speaking to Mohammed Al-Mutaka, and he mentioned that, in fact, he flew directly from Qatar here.
Yeah.
So that was my original flight. But that schedule was unpredictable for a while, but in the end happened. And all the players are here. Nobody seems to have had any difficulty getting here. From the western side, there was never any problem. But most of the people from the other side also got in without any issues.
And the tournament, overall 8 players in the open, 8 in women. There have been these videos that have been happening of making the tier list. You yourself have made some. You don't enjoy predicting too many things, right?
Yes. I mean, it's like rapid fire. When the rapid fire has too many questions that you don't know the answer to, you have to just say the first thing. Same thing here. I can just about be bullied into making a prediction for one place, but some of these tier lists, you have to make a prediction almost for everyone, and that's hard. No, it's fine. It's good fun. But I really think the competition is very close. The only interesting detail which has been added is on the women's side. Is that, the mythological last-minute participant. So that will be Anna. I don't know whether last-minute participants actually win more tournaments or everybody remembers that they won. But anyway, that's maybe the one interesting thing on the how Anna will take to it. Because even if she knew about Humpy's decision, she couldn't have had more than 10 to 12 days to prepare. So she'll be kind of making it up as she goes along. That'll be interesting to watch. On the men's side, probably nothing great to add. On even the rest of the women's side, nothing great to add. It is what it is a few days back. I think I said Caruana. I picked 2 horses, one young, one old. So Caruana and Cinderella, I said. But that is entirely momentum. It could easily be changed if you had one of the others with a good start that should make up. And I think on the women's side as well, there are a couple of names that stand out, but mostly I expect it to be very competitive.
And all three Indians who are playing have been part of Waka before, and been working with you, Prag, Vaishali, Divya. So in general, would you say, like, for Prag and Vaishali being the second candidates, they would be a lot more confident, and for Divya it will be the first occasion she'll play a big tournament?
There are examples of people winning their first candidates events, but it's a tournament with a lot of tension. In fact, you can see it in Caruana's thing. He won the first candidates he played in, which was 16. He didn't play in 14, so he played in 16. And he didn't win in 16, but he won in 18, the second one. But after that, though he's been one of the top players, he hasn't won a candidates for many years. So the question is, can the reverse happen now? Simply by how many times is he not going to win? Therefore, he might win. I don't know if these things actually have value. In the end, you just have to go with who's a strong player, who brings the maximum strength, has the best chances. So Prag, I think, is a very serious contender because he's very determined, and that will be an important motivation is an important factor here. Vaishali, she's always a bit unpredictable, but she is also very hardworking, and I'm sure she is prepared extremely hard. Divya, I don't know, in what kind of state of mind, but it must be confident. I mean, also the World Cup and all, they were great results. She's
and she did
competing
well in
Prague. So, in a positive mood. I wouldn't pick any of them as favorites right away, maybe with the exception of Prague, and even not a clear favorite. But I think Vaishali and Divya are certainly fully capable of rising to the occasion.
And when we talk about these last moment entries, like let's say Anna playing there's one tournament of yours which comes to mind, and maybe it's not a last minute entry, but it was your candidates victory of 2014. Because you were kind of thinking, well, I don't want to play perhaps, and then...
Well, I'll tell you this, I prepared like a last minute candidate, which is I didn't prepare at all, and I prepared the last few days just because but that was special. I could afford not to prepare at all because I had prepared so much for the match. And so, and I think what turned out to be a huge advantage for me was I didn't really care about the result. Not caring, but I mean that I was philosophical about whatever result came, and I didn't feel any pressure at all. I just thought, if I play good on game 1, that's good for game 1. I'll go to sleep. We'll worry about game 2. Very pragmatic. But yes, I mean, one of the best experiences of my life. What can I tell you?
I never actually asked you this, but I've heard it many times. Was it true that it was Kramnik who had, at that point, sort of convinced you that play, or maybe over a dinner? I think I wanted to know more about it.
I think he pushed on an open door, but certainly, in this Kramnik voice, he said, why don't you play? Anyway, it's a nice tournament, and what's the difference between playing and not playing, or something like that. And I understood his point, and so he had eliminated me like 2 days ago. Then he had lost to Nakamura in a totally one position, and he had gotten eliminated that day. So I told him, look, why don't I take you out and maybe we'll cheer each other up or something. So we went out.
This was
that's when we had
tournament?
This in London.
London.
So yes, we had a conversation, and maybe for me it was like a final confirmation, and then I more or less decided I'm going to play. Not that I ever... actually, another casual conversation I had. Maybe the next day, I saw Mickey Adams. I was coming down and I was kind of thinking, am I going to have lunch at the hotel, or shall I pop outside? You've been to London, right? So pop outside to that other place, or
the hair,
what should I eat? No, not no. That was too much. But I was just going to eat something light before the roundathon. And then Adams told me, some people are saying that you might not play in the candidates, but I mean, why would you not want to play? And he laughed as if it is the thought itself is so ridiculous. For him, it was obvious that he should play, and it kind of convinced me as well. I thought, sometimes the guy who's not playing, his perspective is more valuable, where he's saying, why would you not play in the candidates? And somehow it had a powerful effect on me. He said it in his typical Mickey way, but these two conversations, I still think only convinced me to play, because I don't think I would have seriously given it up. I think what I would have done is what I did in the end, which is to turn up, play, and if I don't qualify and don't play again, that's fine. That is a different story from giving it up. So
I was actually going through these games just to relive those games of 2014. The first round when you played with Aronian, Aronian was maybe one of the favorites, right?
Yeah,
back then.
very much.
So
he was the favorite, and maybe the others were second and third. Yeah.
And there was this 95 line, and then you won a pawn in the opening, and then with these two bishops, you just outplayed him in the end game. It was very pretty.
It was one of my best games. It's also a very, very beautiful game. You rarely get your pieces doing such magic so easily. But the beauty is, I was surprised. I was more surprised than anyone else. At some point, I played a4, then I played c4,
yes.
And he took, and then I thought, okay, I'll go rook d3. I understood I'm better with the thing, but somehow in your head, it's not that you're sleepy, but you're not fully concentrated either. You're just making natural moves, right? And so then the rook went to b3, and suddenly I thought. Then he played knight d5. If I take, at most I'm an extra pawn and opposite color bishop, so of course I don't take. Then I decided to come down to d2. Then next thing you know, it's going to a5, rook is going to b8, bishop is coming to f1, f3, king f2. Pieces are enjoying themselves so much, and his pieces are stuck in lousy squares. And then, I'm dragging it out a bit, but the point is, I didn't realize how good my position was, and then suddenly I realized, oh my God, it's just overwhelming. And then I won that game, and even more easily I beat Mamedyarov in game 3.
E5 and f6 and great breaks in the Slav.
And you don't expect black to win in 5 moves from that position, and that's nice. And then I had very nice positions in many games. And I finally beat Topalov, and Aronian lost to Mamedyarov.
Because Aronian was very close.
Crazy. Well, we were tied for first place at that point. But I had a half-point advantage because our individual encounter, I was the winner. So, anyway.
And with Topalov also, it was a beautiful Sicilian with this.
You can look at the position when my king is on b6. For half a second, I almost played king b6.
There was a mate, no?
Queen c7 check, b5 check, queen b7 is made. Again, you can make a drama, maybe you can make a whole YouTube video of this, but I well before I gave it serious thought, I realized, and then I had this panic reaction like, oh my God, I actually considered this move for half a second, but I can dramatize it a lot more if you want, but I think we'll leave it there. It was still nice to see there's a mate and this thing, okay, no way I'm falling for that.
And I was watching this tournament and I knew that you are leading, and then last 4 rounds you drew, out of which in one of the games you were winning against Andrekin, but very pragmatic, you finished it off with 1 point lead. I guess there was a slight scare in the Karyakin game.
Yes,
now...
But at that point it seemed to me that I didn't need to win against Andrekin. So my logic was that I benefit less from the win against Andrekin than I suffer from a loss. And the position was not easy, though it's winning, and I could feel it's winning. There's still tactical details. But already I've spoiled the position a little bit. I could have finished it earlier. And so I had this feeling, maybe I'm slipping, it's slipping out of my hands, and then why take a risk now? Let's just repeat and take the draw and go and close this game. But then Karyakin started winning, and actually he became more of a threat than I realized. I still thought my margin was very good. If I drew, even if I lost to him, I thought I probably will win the tournament. I didn't expect Aronian to lose so easily the next day, but Aronian was broken completely by that point. Anyway, these are lots of ifs and buts. Would I have known this if I had won the 12th, or if I had lost the 12th? Now, so it's too much. But I don't. I mean, Karyakin game would have actually made it unpleasant had I lost, and that I defended. So just like Grushchuk in Mexico.
And actually, this 8.5 out of 14 is a winning score. And actually, because the format is the same even now, it's actually a nice playbook for anyone who's kind of trying to win the candidates, that you start off with couple of wins, then you are very solid, you don't lose a game. It's not an easy thing to do, but you show it, like you did it with quite effortless ease there.
Yes, I was really well prepared in many games against difficult opponents. I just, like the black game against Aronyan, it wasn't preparation, but similar ideas and so on. So I just played very effortlessly and then drew that very quickly. Same thing in a couple of other games, so that was helpful. What was the winning? I think the highest winning score, for some reason, I think Nepo in 22 in Madrid should be higher than mine. Maybe it was 9 or something, or 9.5 even.
Gukesh
because
did
he had
9
a huge plus score
last year. I mean, 2024.
He was +4 or what in the end?
Yeah, he actually lost a game as well to Firuza, so he did like, I think he won 5.
He was 8.5 in the end, no? Because I was what, +3?
Yeah.
And Gukesh was +4. Okay, yeah. So that was higher. And I'm trying to think what's the highest score. Both of Nepo's things might be high, because he beat a couple of people 2-0, 2-0. He beat Wang Hao 2-0. Ding he beat in Madrid. I don't know if he beat him in. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what will happen here. We'll see. But it's amazing, Vishy, to relive 2014. Especially, I wasn't there. I saw you in action in 2016 in Moscow.
Right.
When you were, it was my first candidates. Also, an incredible performance there. I think you were fighting for the top spot. But overall, I mean, it was amazing to see you in action. And now you will see the other players in action here. So it's brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishy, for your time.